When thinking of Cherokee High School in Rogersville, not many people would think of their baseball program. Known for their lackluster baseball seasons, Cherokee has finally flipped the script. Thanks to head baseball coach Matthew Carter and many others, Cherokee's baseball team is now a respectable program. In this documentary, we take a look at some of the changes that have occurred over the last few years for their turnaround.
I'm Matt Carter. I'm the head baseball coach here at Cherokee High School.
When Carter made it to Cherokee, he knew very little about the program.
Really didn't know much about Cherokee kind of prior to coming here. I'll be honest, the one thing I did know, they were kind of one of the bottom barrel of the teams in the IMAC. But really, all I knew was kind of a team that, you'd go to play Monday, Tuesday in conference with teams or guys I'd coached from the IMAC, Morristown West, East, Jefferson County, Seymour. It said kind of Cherokee was just one of those teams. You'd go and show up and you'd win. Not really competitive, easy team to beat. Those are kind of the things that I'd heard about Cherokee prior to coming here.
When Carter got the head coaching job at Cherokee, he knew he would have to establish small expectations in order to get to his ultimate goal.
So my first expectation kind of early was just to, kind of get to know some of the guys, kind of see what, was in store for me. In that first year, David Hartsook, he gave me, my responsibility was, hey, I want you to do the scheduling. But it was him kind of giving me a little bit of freedom to kind of start my head coaching career, getting my feet wet in that regard. The expectation was, kind of just trying to compete in the games. An early expectation that I put on those seniors and guys playing for me was, we're just going to play 7. I was like, guys, we're driving longer than we're playing. So early that expectation was just to play 7. In that first year, I think we won 6 games, which was fine. We still competed. But I think we kind of started to change that culture in that first year with some of the underclassmen who had been getting beat up on for so long that when they became seniors, it kind of turned that page of we're now going to go compete.
Although the baseball team's play on the field has changed, there have been physical changes that are notable as well.
Facilities-wise, we had a building, we had an indoor building, but it was bare. It was just 4 walls. There was no cage. There was no nothing. It was kind of a glorified storage shed. Kind of going into that, I was like, hey, we need to utilize this building because in East Tennessee, a lot of times you're playing when it's cold or it's snowing or raining or whatnot. And, we've got this building. Okay, we've got to utilize it. So, we fundraised, we got turf, we got a cage up. And then, throughout the years, it's just gotten better and better to where now, we've got multiple, assets of training facility or training equipment to, really good L screens. I remember my first year, throwing behind an L screen, which the L screen was shorter than I am, and almost taking a ball off the head. Now, we got a new fence out in the outfield, a metal fence from the chain link fence that they had in putting in a warning track. It's a process. It's not going to be an easy fix. It's going to take time. But I think through time and the 7 years that I've been here that we've gotten a lot better facilities. People come over here now and say, man, this place has changed a ton.
With all the changes that have occurred, it's worth noting the success of the 2015 Chiefs team as well. The squad made their first ever region appearance in school history, and this is a direct reflection of the changes made in the program in the past few years.
We had a really good arm, and we had a couple other good arms. And in high school baseball, you need 2 to 3 arms, and we had that. And we had the offense to make that run, but we also had the mindset. I think those guys were tired of losing. I honestly told them we have to embrace the redneck kind of mentality that we were given. Everybody thinks that's who we are, so you got to have that chip on your shoulder. And those guys really fought. It was just a good group that meshed together well, but we just had some gritty kids on that team that fought hard each and every day and worked hard and put themselves in a good position to make that run. One key part was just the fight and the determination that a lot of those guys had to allow us to make that run in 15.
Coach Carter does not take credit for all of the changes that have occurred, but he has definitely played a role in the turnaround.
The parents, they're really involved, and the community as well. The community really gets behind you and supports you. You think, I grew up in South Florida, and you watch these movies of the Friday Night Lights and the town shuts down, and I always thought that was really cool. And it's like that here. Definitely the culture, the types of kids. I had kids that were out there willing to work with me on the field. They realize where this place has come from, and willing to take extra time to come out here and help me. And it's not all on me. I've had great assistant coaches. I've had a lot of good talent come through here. Like I said, great parents. So it's been a culmination of things that kind of led to where we are now and where we're going to go to the future.
Cherokee's baseball team currently has a .500 record and is in the middle of the standings in the Big 7 Conference. They are currently competing against notable teams like Dobyns-Bennett and Science Hill in their conference. There is always room for improvement in anything, especially Cherokee baseball, but with recent changes, the program is trending upwards.